10 skills that millionaires master. Did you know that millionaires have way more in common than just their bank accounts? Yeah, it's true. Most millionaires have skills that most people have no idea about, and they have mastered them. I'm going to tell you the most important skills for you to master so that you can do it too. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you exactly why no matter what your personality is, you can definitely be a millionaire with these skills. I'm going to share with you the biggest skill to being a millionaire that almost no one is talking about. And last but not least, I'm going to share with you the easiest way to develop all 10 of these skills this year. Being a millionaire is one of the most amazing accomplishments of my life. I set out to make $1 million in a year, to have $1 million in my bank account, and to have at least $1 million as my net worth. And it was one of the best achievements of my entire life when I did all three. So I know what it's like to be a millionaire, and I know what it takes to go on the journey to go from not being a millionaire to then now being one. And there were definitely some specific skills that I had to develop. I did it, and you definitely can do it too. I'm going to list them out, and I want you to please put down below in the comment box which one resonates with you the most and which one you're working on so that we can talk about it. Now let's get to the list. Number 1, taking risks. You have to get very comfortable taking risks as a millionaire. I know this was not something that I was very good at in the beginning, and I used to even have anxiety attacks as I was trying to do different things in real estate. I was feeling like, man, this is scary, man, this is a lot of money, man, I'm not so sure about this. And I had to get more comfortable taking risks, because every time something comes along, there's going to be a risk associated with it. And if you really want to be a millionaire, please believe you are going to be a risk taker. Now, I'm not talking about being crazy and jumping out of airplanes and running in front of buses or anything like that, but there is definitely a risk to anything. And so let me be clear. You are not leaving this earth alive, okay? You are not leaving this earth alive. There is a risk to life. None of us are getting out of this thing alive. So know that there is risk. You're not going to die. In most cases, if you start a business, or if you quit your job, or if you buy a house, or you invest in a stock, most likely, even if it doesn't work out, you're going to be fine. And that is one of the things that millionaires and billionaires, and now that I'm around all of these successful people, they all know this, and they're very comfortable with taking risks. Number 2, independent thinking. This is so important. Being an independent thinker means that you do not just do everything that other people are doing. Not that you're some contrarian that just goes against what the public is doing or goes against what the masses is doing, but in most cases, you are. It sounds crazy, but in most cases, most people are not millionaires. So if you want to be a millionaire and start to live a life that is different than most people, you're probably going to think differently than most people. So don't be surprised that your thoughts are different than others and that most people are not going to agree and come along with the ideas that you have. Being a millionaire means that you need to be an independent thinker, that you can come up with your own thoughts, your own ideas, and your own opinions. You are not afraid to be different than other people, and you have your own way of thinking. That's important. Number 3, being a visionary. I, Noelle Randall, am a true visionary. I can come up with an idea and no one in the room understands or sees what I see. And that is okay with me. Being a visionary means you can see things before it's built, meaning that you can see a whole project when there's just a dirt ground there. I literally understand business. I can see an empty field and see a whole Walmart. I can see the lines. I can see the carts. I can see the people coming in. I can see where the Chick-fil-A is going to be, where the other thing is going to be, where the strip mall. I can see all of it, and I'm looking at an empty field. That's a visionary. You have to be able to do the exact same thing if you want to be a millionaire. You have to be able to see things that are not there, and you have to be able to create from something that does not exist. In order to make the incredible, you have to be able to see things that do not exist. That's a saying, someone else's quote, so I'm going to give that one to you. That's number 3. Number 4, emotional intelligence. Man, I cannot tell you how important it is to have emotional intelligence, meaning EQ, like how some of us have an IQ, our intelligence quotient. Some of us need an emotional quotient, like how well do you deal with adversity? How well do you deal with anger? How well do you deal with sadness or depression or when things don't work out for you? It is so important that you have emotional intelligence, that you're not a person that just flies off the handle or starts crying or goes crazy when something happens. If you are saying you want to be a millionaire, it is a journey. If you're self-made like I am, where no one gave me any money, I had to pay my way through school, I had to pay my way through college, I had to work a job. If that is you and you want to be a self-made millionaire, please know that you're going to have a lot of emotional intelligence. There are going to be people that say things to you. They may say racist things. They may say sexist things. They may say hurtful things. There are things that people are going to say to you that you are going to have to just reply with a smile and a nod. Literally, they may say some of the most disrespectful, craziest things to you, and you are going to have enough emotional intelligence to be able to say, thank you, and walk away without losing your cool, without ruining the deal, without fighting anyone or any of those things. Emotional intelligence is one of the skills you must develop if you want to be a millionaire. Number 5, and this is the one probably most people are thinking might be number 1. Money management. Money management is not a skill that most people have, but I assure you, every millionaire has great money management skills. If they're truly a millionaire in all 3 definitions, like I told you earlier, there's no way that someone's going to have $1 million cash and $1 million in assets and is earning $1 million a year and keeps that going year after year without money management. Whether it's a skill that they've developed on their own, that they already have that, you know, they're very good with their checking and their credit reports and things like that, or you will hire someone that can help teach you how to manage your money. But it is a skill that you are going to have to develop. You can't be afraid to have money conversations. You can't be afraid to ask people for more money. You can't be afraid to raise your prices. You have to get good with money and managing your money. It has to be a conversation that you're comfortable with. As a millionaire, I love talking about money, and I have no problems telling you that I'm a millionaire, and the people that I talk to talk the same way back to me. Talking about money and money management is a skill for a millionaire. Number 6, oh my gosh, we're getting hot right now. Marketing. Marketing, marketing, marketing. If you say you want to be a millionaire, you're on a journey to be a millionaire, trust me, you are going to have to get good at marketing. Noelle was not good at marketing when I started. Please know this. This is not something that I came out of the womb crawling around like, hey, go to Noelle's free training. I did not know how to market myself. I did not know how to market my business. It was a skill that I really had to develop, and it was a skill that has taken me years. I'm still learning how to market. How do you sell yourself? How do you sell your products and your services? You have to work on this skill. You cannot be afraid to market your business. There's no business that is making millions of dollars that no one knows about. Someone has to know. Your customer, most importantly, needs to know about you, so you have to market in order to be a millionaire. Number 7, sales. Yes, sales and salesmanship is an important skill for any millionaire. This is something you are going to have to develop, and this is one I can make an entire video all about. Sales is so important. Most people have no idea how to sell anything. They're uncomfortable selling. They don't like selling. It really kind of goes hand in hand with the skill that I said before about marketing. Being able to market yourself and tell people about yourself. Marketing and sales are they're not the same thing, but they are very intertwined. You know what I mean? You have to be able to tell people and advertise. And then when you get them on the phone, or you get them in your store, or you get them, in your office, you need to be able to convert them. So if you are not good at selling, it is not something that you enjoy, you're probably never going to be a millionaire. I'm just being honest with you. Almost every millionaire that I know, even on the low, depending on no matter what their personality, I mean, people that don't even like talking a lot, they know how to sell their product and their service. So it doesn't matter if you can sell everything. You don't have to be the person that can sell ice to Eskimo and all that other stuff, but you need to be able to sell your product and your service very well if you want to be a millionaire. Number 8, and this is an easy one, planning. Most people actually are pretty good at this, and I can honestly say this is not something that a lot of people struggle with, but millionaires are really good at planning and organizing their day, their week, their month, their year. I am not gonna lie to you, this was not something that I struggled with. I actually was pretty good at planning. I could write down a plan. I could tell you I was gonna do this, and I was gonna do this, and I was gonna do this. Now, the difference is between old me and millionaire me is I know how to execute a plan. That is where most people fall down. Many people can write down a plan and write down what they're going to do and write down their goals. That's easy. The harder part is executing on your plan. So not only do you make a plan, but you execute on your plan, and you need to develop the skill to do both of those things. Number 9, influence. Influencing, being able to influence other people is a skill that you need to develop. As a real estate entrepreneur, a millionaire, a mom of 5, I did not understand how important it was to be able to influence. I had been a manager. I had been someone in corporate America that was able to dictate what you had to do. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, you didn't do your job. Hey, you showed up late. I was the manager, so I was used to authority like that. If someone gave me the authority, then I would talk to the people that I had authority over and give them direction. But no, this is far beyond that. That was old Noel. That was, hundreds of thousands of dollars Noel. Millions of dollars Noel knows how to influence. I know how to be a person of influence. I know how to get people to do things without telling them to do it. I know how to get people to buy my product, my services, my books, watch my shows without me having to tell you or beg you. I know how to get influence. And being able to influence is much different than authority. Being able to influence someone does not mean you have any authority over them. It doesn't. You don't have to be a manager or president of the United States or something like that in order to have influence over a person. In order to be a person of influence, you need to know how to do that. And it probably will start with a book by John Maxwell that I read called Becoming a Person of Influence. If you don't know how to have influence, read that book. It was life-changing for me. Number 10, communication. Communication is probably the most important skill that you will need to develop as a millionaire. Let me say that again. Communication, being able to speak well, being able to communicate your ideas and your thoughts clearly, concisely, without going and ah and yelling, or your voice is too high or too low, or you're too shy. Being able to communicate effectively is a great skill, and every millionaire that I know has it. If you don't have it, it is a skill that you can develop. I have had many coaches that help me on camera. I have had coaches that help me speak on stage. I have had coaches that help me act in movies, like all different things. If you are communicating, you may need a coach. I had to get a coach, okay? Even though I had millions of dollars, I had no idea how to make YouTube videos, for example, and I needed someone, and I had to pay them to teach me how to communicate to just the camera with other people around here and not look at them and just look at you with the camera. Things like that. Communication is so important. It is a skill you must develop if you truly want to be a millionaire. So I have written an entire book, and I am giving it away to you absolutely free. My new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, is a book that I have poured my heart into, teaching you exactly how to invest in real estate from beginning with almost nothing. I give you worksheets, checklists, and all the tools and resources in that book so that you can actually implement. And most importantly, you can get this book absolutely free. You just cover the shipping and handling. Go to noellsfreebook.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreebook.com, and get your copy today absolutely free. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.